Hey everybody, I'm the Bigglesworth, and welcome back to another episode of Let's Play Along with Piggy. I decided I would go ahead and start out over here, pretty close to where we left. I've cleaned up my mess, except for the potatoes. Can never have enough potatoes, so let's go in. This is gonna be the snack box. Whenever we run through here and we need a snack, there we go, we got snacks aplenty. But I went ahead and cleaned all this up. Take a run out here real quick. Wait a minute. Huh. Kind of curious. I wonder what I would do if I do this. I'd have to remove that cobble. We might try this. It's kind of like it used to be. My mentality was when I smacked a block down on the ground, I wanted it to stay there forever. I didn't want to change things. But now that I've kind of had to fix a few things, I guess we can do that. We won't see that too often. Now that I've had to fix a few things, I'm kind of in the mindset, I don't mind adjusting. Hello, rotten flesh. I don't mind adjusting things and tweaking them a little bit. So I like that. That's a little better. We can see that post a little bit more. It's not so hidden. And the grass goes away right on cue. Awesome. So let's go ahead and hop out here. We can take a look at the hill. More rotten flesh. Yeah, it was just night right before I hit record. I slept in a bed. There we go, Mr. Creeper up there inspecting everything just to make sure that we did it right. He appears to be happy. It looks like he has an ear. I never noticed that. All the better to hear us with. But apparently he can't. Oh, maybe he can. Shh, we have to be quiet. He's looking. He hears us, but he's not certain. And there's a skeleton up there. I just noticed that. So let's get a move on. But I figured I would run over here real quick. Now, there's something going on. Look at my hotbar. You notice the worn out tools, how they're different colors. Well, that means that we've switched over. Yes, we have. This is now 1.11 Minecraft. We have swapped over because we need one of the functions of 1.11 Minecraft for today's mega build. But first, I've been using this so that I could keep my fishing rod in here, but I'm thinking eventually we're probably going to, let's go ahead and just get some of this junk out of here. We're eventually going to use this chest, the ender chest, more for important things. Not all these fishing poles. So we need to give our fishing pole a permanent little spot just so we know where it is. Uh-oh. There we go. We'll put it right there. And I was trying to fish earlier, and I know I've been having a little trouble with this, but it seems like now that I've switched to 1.11, that might be working. So I'm going to have to do a couple of AFK sessions with this just to see if we can get ourselves some mending books, because we're still not getting mending books. Now we're getting some pufferfish. That's good, because we're going to need pufferfish to make potions where we can go swimming underneath the water and not suffocate. And I left a bunch of junk here. And there's my diamond axe. I've been wondering where that was. We'll just drop that there. And there's my bow. I've been wondering where that was. Wow, look at that. You hit record and you find all kinds of cool stuff. So, Piggy's quick tip. If you ever can't find anything, just hit record. But not really. Don't take me to the bank for that one, because, you'll go bankrupt. There won't be any money there. But we're going to run back over here because we're going to start working on something right in here. I know. You're like, Piggy, how are you going to be conquering if we're going right back to this little miner spot? Well, trust me. What we're about to work on today is going to be a big deal. A very big deal. And I don't mean just a big deal like a big deal, but I mean this thing's going to be big. It's a big build as well. So I'm eventually going to hollow this out. I've decided we're going to make this like an entryway or a doorway. And for the longest time, I have tried to figure out what are we going to put behind this wall. Now we have our dialable, adjustable enchanting area right in here. For those of y'all who haven't seen this, it's on. Whoop! I can dial that, and look, it swaps it out and makes some solid blocks, and then we can just decide what enchant level we want. If we want to control the enchant levels, switch this around. Is that the right one? There we go. Did it work? Did it all go back? Okay. And one thing I'd found out is if you switch these way too fast, you actually cause the blocks to swap too quick, and it just messes the whole thing up. So we got to be a little careful with that. But yeah, back over in here. Wait, is it back over in here? I don't think it's back over in here. This is where all the controls are for it. You shall not look back there. That is a mess. It's not really a mess, but it's a huge build. But back off in here, behind all of that. I've been wanting to do something, and today that's what we're going to get started on. So we're going to tuck back in here and check that out. Now, that's today's build, isn't it? Well, kind of. It's the beginning of today's build. I've got a humongous room that I have to dig out. Now, the room itself is going to be this dimension, but we have to dig down 35 blocks, I think it is. We got to dig down quite a ways. Now, I'm going to have two builds in here eventually. I'm going to have a build right here. It's really tall. And I'm going to have a build opposite that's really tall. And a big chasm between the two. And so that way we can stand up here and look down at one build, or we can cross over and look at this build. So that'd be pretty cool. Something cool to have in here. But this, we're going to build this huge build in here because this is going to help us with conquering, believe it or not. And I am just wasting your time. I'm babbling on and not accomplishing a lot, am I? So I'm going to go ahead and dump out all this junk. I'm going to see how far I can get with this diamond pick. I'm probably going to either repair it, or I'm going to have to build another one, which is okay. We've got diamonds. We've got the 30-level quick XP farm in the nether. So I'm going to do that. I'm going to dump my junk. I'm going to get to ripping out all this cobble, try and see how much we can get ripped out. And then I'm going to bring you back and show you what's next. And here they come. This is the danger of scouting out at night. Or at least scouting far enough away from a bed. Didn't bring one with me. I'm over here because I'm going to build something today that's going... Oh, you little sneaky, get out of here. Let's go ahead and just get a move on. Yeah, I'll explain to you while I'm on the move on. But over in here, I'm going to have to dig a little spot underneath the ground because I don't have a proper slime farm in this world. And I think I need a stack of sticky pistons for the build we're going to work on. This is not working out. You get up the hill. You get up the hill, Piggy. Get where it's safe. This is not safe. We're just going to make a run for it. We have full health. I think we're good. I think we can make this. But yeah, I've got some stuff I'm going to have to gather. Quite a bit of stuff, actually. Got to curve the bullet. There we go. Or the arrow. But I'm going to get over here and show you this massive giant hole in the ground that I've built. Now, as I was building it, and this is why I like to do really long, laborious things. I've had people actually ask me before, Piggy, why in the world do you do these huge projects in vanilla? Oh my gosh, are you kidding me? But I'll tell you, it gives me time to think. And I'll show you what I mean. We didn't get chased. We're safe. Check that out. That's taken me the better part of a day to dig that hole out. Just going to hop down here. But what ends up happening is while I'm digging this out, I'm able to just kind of let my brain free flow. Just kind of think about whatever I want. Sometimes I'll watch videos on YouTube or listen to music while I'm doing it. Sometimes I'll just contemplate what it is I'm building. And I've kind of figured out what I'm going to do. Now I'm going to put a big farm right here. And across from it, I'm going to put another farm that's very similar in the way that it's built, that it's very tall, and then it needs a lot of space. And I want to hide it because it's kind of ugly. But let's see, what level are we at? We're at level 28. So we've got a good 13 blocks underneath to go before we're hitting the bedrock area where we can't have a smooth floor. And I thought about it. There's something else that I need to farm that I just saw a farm for on YouTube the other day that I'm going to build underneath. So I was able to think about stuff and decide, you know what? We're going to expand this even more. We're going to put a bunch of stuff right in here because if we're going to be right in here farming stuff, it'd be a good idea to have some more farming stuff in here. But it's time to get building. I've rambled and not done anything yet, and we have a big, you can tell, right? We have a big build ahead of us. And I thought about it. How would I show off this build? How would I do this? Now, there is a program that you could use that you could record your world and then play it back and move the camera around and watch yourself build. And that program currently does not work in 1.11, which, by the way, boop, look at that, Minecraft 1.11, the upper left-hand corner. We're actually playing 1.11 finally. And we're going to need to play 1.11 because I'm going to work with observer blocks today. But I thought about it. How would I show off all of this? Because I have a ton, Probably not a ton, maybe even more. I'd have to weigh it. But I have a ton of materials I have to gather. I have to prepare. We have to cook. Good thing we got the cooker going. I'm going to have to get a very basic slime farm built real quick so I can gather up enough slime to get 64 slime pistons going, or sticky pistons. I was like, how in the world am I going to show all this off and get it accomplished all in one episode? And I thought about it. You know what we haven't done in a while? What have we not done in a while? Anyone guess? Well, if any of you said time lapse, then you're correct. If you didn't, well, then you're totally wrong. Unless you said something else that we haven't done in a while. And in which case, you might be right. But since I can't really hear you right now, you didn't scream loud enough. You didn't yell loud enough for Piggy to hear it. So I don't know if you're right or wrong, but that's what we're going to do. It's nighttime. That's all good because I got stuff to gather. You just stay out there, Mr. Zombie. You're not welcome in here. And we're going to cue up the music right now, get the music going, and we're going to start to crafting and building today's project. There we go, a mega monstrosity. Now, if you paid really close attention to that time lapse, I know some of you more observant people have been able to figure out what in the world this thing does. Well, I guess we'll have to go this way because that's going to be a long walk up. But check this out. It's another wart farm. Now, I know what you're saying. I know what you're saying, Piggy. You do realize you could just put some soul sand down, plant it, and walk away, right? Well, yeah, I know that. But you know me, I can't do things the easy way. Heck no. Actually, for a long time, I have wanted to come up with an AFK nether wart farm, and I could just never figure out how to do it. Now, there's different ways that you can plant and use water to harvest, but you always have to go back and replant again. There's not a farm that you can just, like, get your character to planting and then walk away from your computer and come back a few hours later and your character's still planting and harvesting. I haven't seen anything like that, so I figured I would make something. And the observer blocks have definitely helped. Now, let's see. Okay. Now, I've yet to put glass all over here, but like I said, this really is, it's an overkill, ridiculous build. But you know what? We got like infinite blocks, practically infinite blocks. More blocks than I could spend my entire natural life trying to break. We've got room. We've got stuff to work with. So I figured, you know what? I want to build something fun. I want to build something a little different. I'm going to build an AFK nether wart farm. So the way this thing works is, we'll hop down here. This thing kind of works like my vine farm works. Let's see. Hop down here. Okay, so this little mechanism right here, this is using the observer block clock that I came up with. and you just flip it on, and it's going to power this dropper. It's just going to start. Where's it at? Oh, we'll have to jump over here and down here. There we go. Come on, you right click. There we go. Ooh, I got some junk in there. But this is where the nether wart gets stored, and it backs up into this chest as well. Now, I'm eventually going to have a system that whenever it backs up past this dropper and that hopper, that it's going to get sent somewhere else. So that we'll have some nether wart here so that we can be planting, but the rest of the excess, the overflow, will eventually go to another place where we can actually make use of the nether wart. But let's see here. So we're going to hop, skip, and a jump. Maybe not like that, like this. There we go. We'll hop up here. And what I need to do is I need to get my first hand slot empty, because that's the one that I'm going to use to plant with. We're going to flip that switch and just look at them go. And those are going to feed us as we plant. So watch. Let's go ahead and get a couple. Oh, there we go. That'll work. Hop in here. Hop down, and I'm just going to right click. Now see how it's filling me up? I'm just holding down on right click, and that thing is going to keep me full, so I could walk away from the keyboard right now and I could keep this thing planted. And what I would do is I would put a weight on my mouse, and it would just keep planting for me. Now the cool thing about this farm, like I said, it's got auto harvest on it. Let's go ahead and turn that off, because that's going to be annoying. Shut down, you. But the way this thing works is these observers are working with some droppers and some hoppers, and it counts 4 events. Now, when you plant the nether wart, that's one event, and then it's going to grow through 3 stages. On its 3rd stage, it's fully developed. When the 3rd stage happens, this system will automatically, that piston will push down, and it will break the nether wart plant. Another piston will pull the soul sand back, and then this piston will retract, and then the soul sand will push forward, and that nether wart will get broken and will get sent into the water chute, and this water chute goes all the way down. See, that minecart's going to slowly make its way. I think it moves a little faster when you're in it. I'm not 100% certain about that. But it gets down here, and I found another use for my observer block clock right here. No matter how full this thing gets, this comparator is going to put out power. And as long as it's putting out power, this system is going to activate the clock that's going to turn this on and push items up an old school style item elevator. That was weird. It looked like something fell. That was crazy. So look, we're going to toss some junk in there. There you go. And see it turns on. And that thing's just going to keep going, sending all that stuff up there. So when we harvest, or when the machine harvests itself, it's going to catch the nether wart and it's going to send it up to the collection point automatically. Now the other cool thing about this farm, I really like how this worked out. We'll have to get back up here so I can show you. I don't think the minecart's going to make its way in time. Oh, it might. It might. So we'll walk up here and I'll talk. I'll jibber jabber while that thing's making its way up here. And I'll show you that if you ever come back to this farm and you're just kind of done, you want to go back to playing, you can hit shift and you'll hop out of the minecart onto one of these platforms. And you can just go about your business. You don't have to worry about the minecart. Because once the minecart makes its way up here, it's going to swoop around. And I've got just enough track here where what's going to happen is it's going to slow down. It'll hit this block and drop down. And it's just going to sit there. It'll sit right on the end of the track waiting for the next person to get in it. But this is but this is built in such a way that if you're in the minecart, there'll be enough forward momentum to push you through and keep going. Now, I did a little test, a little AFK test. I set this up, and then we went out to get something to eat, and I came back. I checked it about an hour and a half later, and it looked like I had about a stack and a half of nether wart. Now, I might have had a little bit more because this farm will hold 32 plants. And when I started, I had planted 1 nether wart, hopped in the minecart, and then left. And so what ended up happening was this had to grow. It had to get harvested. I think I got about 3 or 4 nether wart out of each harvest. See, watch, here it comes. It comes up here. It'll drop down, and it'll just come to rest right there. Stop, you. Don't make a liar out of me. You stop moving. There it goes. So it just sits there and it waits. So you don't have to worry about resetting your minecart or anything. It's kind of like plug and play. You just hop in, harvest the plants, and when you're done, you walk away. But yeah, with that little test I did, my character had to end up planting all of these and then started getting harvests. So I'm going to have to go through and do some proper time trials just to see what the real time trial is. And half of these aren't planted. Uh-oh. But this is going to be today's build. Not really a pretty build, but a very technical build. Really cool. I really love this design. And I'm going to make a tutorial for it. Of course I will. I will make a tutorial so you peeps can build this as well. And then what I want you to do is I want you to build this in your world. Not really. If you want to build it in this world, I mean, to be honest, this has taken me the fair amount of an entire week in my spare time to dig out this room and build this. It is not an easy build. There are much easier ways to do nether wart, but like I said, I wanted a fully AFKable farm, and I got one, darn it. And I ended up hollowing out way more of the room than I needed for some reason. So we'll have to figure out. I may not put that other farm underneath. What we may end up doing is just kind of stringing it right here. Because this room, is as big as this is, I still have to dig this out about 2 or 3 deeper. Because like I said, I want to be able to look up and see the whole farm. And I don't feel like as a 3-block wide pathway that's going to let me do it. So we're going to have to extend it out just a little bit more. But on the other side is going to be another farm very similar to this. So we can have these 2 very tall farms down here underground. And then maybe off to the side, we'll have that other farm, which is going to be kind of overkill for the amount of size. But we'll see. We'll work through it. Maybe we'll make several AFKable farm type thingies in here. And that way, whenever we AFK at one of them, the other farms are working too. That'd be great. So, but yeah, what today's project really is I want you to take a project that you have done, something that you personally wanted to build that maybe other people thought you were crazy for building. Maybe it took you a long time. Maybe it was something they thought was just pointless, but it was something that you were brave enough to build because you wanted to see it in your world. Even though other people told you that you were crazy for trying to do it. I want to see an ambitious project of yours. Take pictures of it, send it to me on Twitter. And remember, you don't have to do it in survival like me. You could do it in creative mode, pocket edition. You could be on PC, on console. None of those things matter. The only thing that matters is to see your creativity. Tweet it to me so I can tweet it to others so everybody can see each other's creativity and we can draw inspiration from each other. But I have been underground for so darn long, I figured I would come out here into the nice sun. Don't you start raining. That would be my luck. I would come out here and it would immediately start raining. But I think I'm just going to run around and enjoy the fresh air for a little bit. Gather up some more materials, start gathering up some ideas for the next project for next episode, and that's when I hope to see you in the next episode.